Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
Ethan's hands traced my body's curves, slow but deliberate. As his fingers brushed my thighs and found my most intimate places, I whispered his name, holding my breath. His lips caressed my chest, sometimes gentle, sometimes intense, and I pulled him closer, surrendering to deeper pleasure. The rhythm of his hands and lips drove me to a feverish edge. Guilt about Ryan surfaced again, but this was a choice we all made. The four of us had permitted this indulgence, and that thought freed me. Ethan's passion consumed my senses, unlocking my suppressed desires. It was late April, and the maple leaves in the suburbs of New York were fluttering in the breeze. I was secretly dreading being elected as an officer of the local children's club. Every Saturday afternoon, it was my job to gather at the community center and plan events for the kids. Being new to the role, I was nervous, but I braced myself, knowing I'd have to get used to it. "You've got this, Emily," I muttered to myself in front of the mirror, trying to boost my confidence. When I stepped into the community center's meeting room, a few parents were already gathered. Among them, Sophia stood out with her bright, lively voice, brimming with suggestions. She was the mother of Jaden, a second grader and a key member of the club. Spotting me, Sophia flashed a warm smile and waved. "Emily, you're here too? So dedicated." Her friendly tone calmed my nerves slightly. I gave an awkward smile and took a seat. "Ugh, Ryan says he's stuck at work again," Sophia sighed from the seat next to me. She was like the unofficial leader of our club. "He's terrible at showing up on time." I gave a wry smile at her complaint. "Same at our house, Sophia. My husband's always working, even on weekends, and barely sees the kids." We bonded over our shared frustrations about our husbands, finding an unexpected bond. Sophia raised her coffee mug, her eyes sparkling. "These little venting sessions are what keep me sane." After the meeting, Sophia and I, for a rare treat, went to a charming little cafe down the street. We sat by the window, ordering sweet cheesecake and lattes. Outside, people strolled through the park, basking in the spring warmth, their laughter filling the air. Between taking care of the kids and managing the house, I barely have any time for myself, Sophia said, taking a bite of her cheesecake. Her eyes betrayed a mix of exhaustion and a quiet loneliness. I nodded. Totally. Moments like this, just chatting with another woman, are so rare. Our conversation started with stuff about the kids' school, soccer practice, piano lessons. But it soon shifted to complaints about our husbands. Sophia set her mug down and lowered her voice slightly. "Honestly, things in the bedroom have been totally lifeless lately." Her sudden confession threw me for a loop, my eyes widening. But I was in the same boat. "Us too. It's been over 6 months. Nothing." I tilted my mug and admitted it openly. Sophia giggled, looking at me. "At this rate, we're both turning into prunes, right?" Her half-joking comment made me burst out laughing. But her words carried a truth that wasn't so easy to brush off. From then on, it became a habit to head to the cafe with Sophia after every officer meeting. At first, we mostly talked about the kids, but our conversations gradually deepened, venting about our gripes with our husbands and more personal matters. One day, as Sophia sipped her coffee, she asked, "What was it like before, Emily? How were things when you first got married?" I hesitated for a moment before answering. Back then, nearly every night was electric. We locked eyes and burst into laughter. Reminiscing about the passion of our younger days, Sophia's eyes sparkled. "Really? Tell me everything. Your first date with Ryan, your first kiss." My face warmed up as I began. I met Ryan in college. Our first date was at a movie theater, and afterward, we shared a clumsy kiss in the dark parking lot. My heart felt like it was going to explode. Sophia sighed enviously. That's so sweet. I met Ethan through a blind date. There wasn't much of that spark. Her tone carried a touch of wistfulness. As she shared stories about her and Ethan, I realized their relationship was quite different from the fiery romance Ryan and I had. One day, during the May holiday, we left the kids with their grandparents and decided to have a barbecue party with both couples. As we drove, Sophia said, "Ethan's a really good guy. But he's missing that spark, you know." I nodded. Ryan's the same. He's all in for work, but at home, he's checked out and doesn't really get me. We sighed, sharing our frustrations about our husbands. When we arrived at a rental villa near the Long Island beach, Ethan was already setting up the barbecue grill. He had a quiet, thoughtful demeanor. "Sophia's been so grateful for your help," he said warmly, smiling at me. Ryan nodded awkwardly. "We're grateful for Sophia's help." The men grilled the meat while we prepared salads and set the table. "It's great that you two wives have become so close," Ethan said in his warmly considerate voice. He was genuinely kind, the opposite of Ryan. Out of nowhere, Ryan asked, "So, what do you two talk about every week?" I shared a sly look with Sophia and smirked. "That's our little secret," Sophia teased, raising her wine glass. The moment we toasted on the terrace overlooking the beach felt free and thrilling. As the night deepened and the wine flowed, our conversations got more daring. Ryan vented about work stress, while Ethan mimicked his boss's absurd quirks, making us laugh. Seeing sides of them we hadn't before, Sophia and I shared sly looks and giggled. Suddenly, Sophia set down her wine glass with an earnest look. "Hey, Emily, I want to talk about something important." The mood quieted instantly. She continued, "We've been talking a lot about our struggles as couples, right?" Ryan and Ethan's faces tensed. Smiling, Sophia went on, "So, here's a wild suggestion. What if, just for one night, we swapped partners?" Silence fell. Ethan looked serious, and Ryan's jaw dropped. "You're joking, right, Sophia?" Ryan said, laughing nervously. My cheeks burned, but I responded firmly, "It's not a joke." My face felt hot, but I held their gazes. Sophia and I had already discussed this idea. Maybe spending time with someone else could bring new energy to our relationships. Ethan cleared his throat and, surprisingly, said, "It's not a bad idea." He looked at Ryan calmly. Ryan hesitated but reluctantly nodded. Just one night. And so, I ended up with Ethan and Sophia with Ryan for the night. Entering Ethan's room, the room buzzed with nervous energy. We stood awkwardly, unsure of what to say. Outside, a full moon glowed, and the distant sound of ocean waves filled the silence. Ethan quietly asked, "Are you sure about this, Emily?" "No regrets." His soft voice soothed me, a kindness I hadn't felt from Ryan. Gathering my courage, I met his eyes. "Just for tonight. I'm all in." I slowly approached him. Ethan gave a bashful grin and took my hand. His touch was warm, and my heart raced. We sat on the bed and started talking. I met Sophia in college. It wasn't a fiery love. We just needed each other, he shared. His stories eased my nerves. His gaze was earnest, but gentle. "You're really beautiful, Emily," Ethan said, his voice rich and comforting. As his hand brushed my cheek, his calloused fingers sparked tingles through me. I held his hand, pressing myself against his firm chest. His breath grazed my neck, hot and teasing, making my body tremble like a flame. The thought of Ryan and Sophia sharing a similar moment somewhere else flashed through my mind, sparking jealousy and guilt. but Ethan's touch melted those feelings away. We began undressing each other. His hands unbuttoned my blouse, savoring my skin, while I slipped off his shirt, drawn to his toned muscles and warm body. When his lips grazed my shoulder, I felt a raw longing stir within me, long dormant. Ethan's hands traced my body's curves, slow but deliberate. As his fingers brushed my thighs and found my most intimate places, I whispered his name, holding my breath. His lips caressed my chest, sometimes gentle, sometimes intense, and I pulled him closer, surrendering to deeper pleasure. The rhythm of his hands and lips drove me to a feverish edge. Guilt about Ryan surfaced again, but this was a choice we all made. The four of us had permitted this indulgence, and that thought freed me. Ethan's passion consumed my senses, unlocking my suppressed desires. When our bodies became one, I was overwhelmed by a rush of intense pleasure. Ethan's movements were deep and rhythmic, his hands gripping my hips, pulling us closer. My body trembled in sync with his, climbing toward an overwhelming climax. Pleasure surged through me, explosive and all-consuming. I clung to his shoulders, calling his name. In that moment, guilt vanished, leaving only the thrilling sense of release. Ethan reached his peak within me, letting out a low moan, his warm breath grazing my ear. We caught our breath in each other's arms, savoring the afterglow of this forbidden yet consensual pleasure. That night stirred me to my core. Ethan's touch awakened my buried passions, and his whispers filled my heart with warmth. This new passion, so different from Ryan's, stirred an untapped liberation within me. Resting my head on his chest, I felt his heartbeat and whispered, "Ethan, tonight was perfect." There was guilt, but this pleasure, this freedom, it's special. He kissed my forehead softly and smiled. "I feel the same, Emily. We all chose this moment, and that's enough." The next morning, the four of us faced each other with an awkward air. But Sophia eased the awkwardness with a bright smile. "Breakfast is ready." Her laid-back vibe lightened the mood. Ryan looked uneasy, but Ethan was his usual calm self. "Last night was fun," Ryan said quietly to Sophia, who flashed a mischievous grin. "Me too." On the drive back, Sophia whispered to me, "Emily, want to do it again?" Her eyes were serious yet excited. I nodded. "Me too." From that day, our four-way relationship became something special. At first, there was guilt, but somehow it felt right. Ryan and Ethan seemed to come around to it too. At children's club meetings, we acted like typical moms and dads, but afterward, the four of us would meet. What started as a one-time thing became a regular arrangement. One day, Ryan asked nervously, "Is this kind of relationship far from ordinary?" I held his hand and replied, "It's not typical, but if we're happy, isn't that what's in our hearts?" Sophia chimed in, "Exactly, Emily. It's about what's in our hearts." By June, with rainy days in full force, we planned an insect observation activity for the kids' club. Sophia sighed, "Taking the kids out is draining." I laughed. "True, but we owe it all to them." Ryan added, "Yeah, we owe it all to Jaden and Olivia." We all laughed. It was true. Without the children's club, this relationship wouldn't have begun. When summer ended and the kids went to a 3-day camp, the four of us took a trip to a hot spring resort in Maine. The 2 days in a quaint old lodge helped us escape daily routines. Soaking in the open-air hot tub, Sophia said, "If we could live like this forever." Stars twinkled above. I looked at her in the water and said, "It feels like escaping reality." Sophia paused, then replied, "Maybe it's not escape. Maybe it's finding fresh horizons." Back in our room, Ryan and Ethan were waiting with a bottle of wine. We ate, talked, and soon craved each other once more. When Ethan's arms wrapped around my waist and his lips brushed my neck, I felt that electrifying jolt again. His body was firm, his breath hot. We spent the night fulfilling each other's desires. Sophia and Ryan did the same in another room. This relationship went beyond physical attraction. It was a profound connection. Sophia whispered, "I'm so happy we're together like this." We all nodded. But Ethan quietly asked, "Is this okay as it is?" His words gave us pause. I asked, "Is something wrong?" He replied seriously, "If this continues, what happens in the future?" It was a question I'd grappled with too. Ryan jumped in, "Let's just enjoy this happiness now." His optimism eased everyone's faces. On the way home, Sophia whispered, "Honestly, Emily, I've started to have feelings for you too." Her eyes were sincere. I was surprised but couldn't help but admit it. "I feel something special for you too." We held hands, a special connection growing between us women. Back home, the kids excitedly shared camp stories. The comfort of slipping back into normal life mixed with the trip's afterglow. "Mom, how was the hot spring?" Olivia asked innocently. I picked my words thoughtfully. "It was really fun. We'll take you there one day." After putting the kids to bed, Ryan and I were alone. He asked seriously, "How have I been as a husband lately?" I took his hand. "I feel more connected to you now." Ironically, this relationship had sparked a fresh bond between us as a couple. We could open up to each other more. In the fall, the children's club got busy preparing for the Christmas party. Sophia said longingly, "We have less time to meet as a group." I reassured her, "But we see each other at meetings." She grinned playfully. "That's not enough." Her playful vibe lifted my spirits. One Saturday, Sophia's family came to our house. The kids played board games in the living room while we made pizza in the kitchen. To outsiders, it was just a classic family hangout. I asked Jaden, "Who's your best friend at school?" He blushed. "There's this girl in my class." We all cracked up. Sophia asked Olivia, "What about you? Any boys you like?" Olivia shook her head, her face red. The kids' innocence tugged at our heartstrings. Ethan said, "It really feels like we're one family." We all agreed. The kids and adults meshed effortlessly. At year-end, Ryan suggested, "How about a trip together with the kids?" I was surprised. Until now, it had been grown-up time, but this was a family trip. I'm tired of hiding this relationship. I want to try a different approach. After serious discussion, we decided to take both families on a year-end trip. We explained it to the kids as a trip with close neighbor friends. One day, while the kids played, the four of us opened up. Ethan said, "Honestly, keeping this relationship out in the open would be tricky." Considering societal judgment and the kids' school life, he was right. Ryan added, "But I don't want to end it." His candor put us at ease. I suggested, "What if we lived closer? Like in the same building or next door?" Sophia's eyes lit up. Then we'd look like normal neighbors, but in reality, the idea came together. In December, the Christmas party was a total success. On December 30th, both families took off for a ski lodge in Vermont. The kids quickly bonded, having snowball fights. "Dad, let's build a snowman." Olivia pulled Ryan, and Jaden called Ethan. Seeing the kids and dads laughing in the snow filled me with joy. Ethan said, "Isn't it weird? We truly feel like a single family." We all laughed. That night, after the kids were asleep, the four of us talked. Sophia asked, "What's next?" I chimed in boldly, "I want to keep this relationship going." Everyone seemed taken aback but agreed. Ryan suggested, "What if we lived nearby and lived a sort of shared life?" Everyone was on board. As the new year began, we started hunting for homes. Considering the kids' school, we found 2 adjacent homes. Olivia cheered. Mom, Sophia's family is moving next door? Awesome. Her pure excitement stirred my emotions. We couldn't share the full story. Moving was tough, but the 4 of us worked together. From packing to decorating the new homes, we made decisions as a team. Sophia said, "We don't know what's next, but living close means we can see each other freely." She was right, closing the physical distance was the first step. By late March, moving day approached. The kids seemed both excited and anxious about the new environment. Sophia laughed. "Jaden and Olivia will be like siblings." I shared a worry. What if the kids grow up and learn the truth? Ryan hugged me. "We'll deal with that when it comes. For now, let's focus on starting this new life." In April, as the maples turned red, we moved next door to each other. To the outside world, we were just tight-knit neighbors who bonded through the children's club. We greeted the neighborhood like any typical family. No one suspected our special relationship. Olivia said, "Sophia's dad is so nice." Her words startled me. Kids pick up on things, but for now, they were clueless. Life after the move was amazingly smooth. The kids played between our houses, and the adults hung out easily. In the mornings, Ethan drove the kids to school. In the evenings, I picked them up. We often ate dinner at Sophia's. Ethan said, "I didn't expect us to fit so well. Everything worked like a charm." Ryan added, "The world might see this as abnormal, but if we're happy, that's what matters." During the May holiday, we barbecued in the backyard and picnicked in the park. To outsiders, we were tight-knit neighbors. There was gossip around the block, "Aren't those families a bit too tight?" But nobody dug too deep. On rainy June days, we kept the kids busy with indoor games, cooking, or movie nights. Jaden said, "Even when it rains, it's a blast with all of us." The kids had settled into this routine too. In the summer, we took the kids to the pool, where Ethan and I, Ryan and Sophia, felt like actual partners. We felt other parents' stares, but brushed them off. We wanted to protect the joy we'd built. Ethan told Jaden, "Take care of Olivia." He seemed like a true father. I felt thankful for our special family setup. Sophia asked nervously, "Will this last?" I held her hand. "I don't know, but we're happy now. Together, we'll keep it going." When summer break ended and the kids were buried in assignments, we discussed next steps. Ethan asked, "If we keep this up, what's the future?" Ryan replied, "We'll cross that bridge when we get there." His optimism put our minds at ease. In the fall, the kids started the new school year. Jaden and Olivia, in the same class, became inseparable buddies. Olivia said, "Jaden's parents come to our house a lot, don't they?" I replied offhandedly, "That's because we're neighbors." But kids pick up on things. At the October school sports day, Ethan and I, Ryan and Sophia teamed up effortlessly. Whispers came from the stands, "Don't those parents keep switching?" We shared glances and laughed. Sophia said, "Ignore them. We live life on our terms." That night, after the kids were asleep, the 4 of us talked. Sometimes we hung out as pairs, sometimes all together. Ethan asked, "If this continues, what happens when we're gray and wrinkled?" Ryan joked, "We'll all move into the same nursing home." We laughed, but it was a pretty good plan. In November, the children's club was busy with Christmas party prep. Sophia said, "We've made this relationship work for almost a year." I looked at her and asked, "Any regrets?" She smiled warmly. "None. I never dreamed we'd have such joyful times." I shared that feeling. I suggested, "Let's celebrate Christmas as a group with the kids." Sophia's face brightened. "Yes, let's decorate a tree and exchange gifts." We decided to spend Christmas morning at our respective homes and have a big group bash in the evening. On December 24th, Christmas Eve, the kids were over the moon, counting down to Santa. Jaden asked, "Will Santa visit both houses?" We shared knowing smirks. Of course. Tomorrow night, we're having a huge celebration. After putting the kids to bed, the four of us clinked glasses in the candle's glow. Sophia asked, "What was the best moment this year?" I answered, "Moving in together, the kids becoming friends, the hot spring trip." We laughed, reminiscing. The Christmas party was a hit. The kids loved swapping gifts, and we celebrated our special tie. "Let's stay together next year and beyond," we toasted, brimming with optimism. As the new year dawned, the kids grew, and our connection grew stronger. Sophia said, "Ryan's been sweeter lately." I agreed. The workaholic was now making family moments count. I added, "Ethan's become more assertive." This relationship seemed to have sparked growth in all of us. In the spring, the kids settled into their new classrooms. Jaden and Olivia were in different classes, but still super tight at home. I said, "The kids are super tight regardless of our relationship." Their pure friendship stood on its own, a comfort and a responsibility. As the new school year began, Sophia and I handed off our officer roles, but our relationship continued. Without the officer role, we hung out more openly. I laughed with Sophia. "I used to regret becoming an officer, but now I'm thankful." She smiled back. "Me too, Emily."